Hey, what's up? It's JJ, the Lonely Bull in Asia, Sunday morning coffee here in Bangkok, Thailand. How is everybody doing? I'm a happy camper. My Huskers basketball team just beat Vanderbilt, basically a last second shot to win. I think it was 72-70. I think was the final by 2 points. Great game. Nebraska was up most of the game. Vandy came fighting back, took the lead, was up by 5 at one point with about 4.5 minutes to go. And then Nebraska fought back, tied it at 70. Vanderbilt had a shot at the end, missed a bucket. Nebraska got the rebound and got a 2-point play to take the lead with like 2 seconds to go. And then Vanderbilt barely missed like a half court shot at the buzzer. And Nebraska advances to the Sweet 16. So before this tournament, they had never won an NCAA game. Now they've won 2, and they're in the Sweet 16 next weekend. So I'm really excited about that. A lot of things going on next weekend because Nebraska's football spring game is next Saturday. And then Nebraska will be playing in the Sweet 16. I believe they play Saturday. Probably will play – I think probably Florida, but I'd have to look at the brackets. So how's everybody doing? I'm in a great mood. Now, I did get one guy on board this morning when I announced that the stream was going to start late, and he's a Vandy fan, and he says Vanderbilt's going to embarrass the entire state of Nebraska. And I replied, we'll see. Now, we'll see if he comes on the live stream. I hope he does. I mean, it's fun to have a little lively, chat about things like that, as long as we're both respectful. So you're starting late today, Jade. Yes, I watched the Nebraska Vanderbilt NCAA tournament game. They just got over about 15 minutes ago. So, but thanks, Chris, for being on board, Christian. And Art is here. What's up in Southeast Asia? The temperatures, we're into that summer season basically, so it's going to be warm now in the next probably 3 months before the rainy season starts. But I'm okay with that. Any day in Bangkok to me is a good day, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for coming on board. I don't really have an agenda today. I did a video yesterday with Ern from Ern Lucky Girl. She got back from Hong Kong the day before. And so we met and we interviewed each other. So I talked to her about dating foreigners, of course. That seems to be the big topic, and age gap dating in Thailand. So as soon as I get that video edited, I'll post it on the members page first. And if you're not a member, you can be. It's just 99 cents a month. But if not, just wait a while and it'll show up on the public stream. So, but it was a good interview. It lasted quite a while. I think we talked about 45 minutes. So I'll see what the editing looks like. I may break it down into 2 parts. I'm not sure yet, but she's always fun to talk to. She's a really nice person, nice lady, and super sweet. And very young. So I know you guys will enjoy watching her interview in the next couple of days. So anyway, so we could talk about that. Woodman says, are you big into age gap? No, not really. I generally, I guess my wheelhouse, so to speak, is like 35 plus, 35 to 45. Or maybe 35 to 49, something like that. That seems to be the best fit for me. More things in common, we get along better. We look closer to each other's age, relatively. And they've been through that young life, so they don't have to worry about. And that's one of the things we talk about with Ern, is a young girl dating an old guy. The old guy, he's been through college. He sowed his oats, so to speak. The young girl still wants to experience life as a young person. They want to go clubbing. They want to go to parties. They want to be out with their friends. And maybe the old guy just doesn't have the energy to do that. Or there may be a little, it's like, I feel kind of uncomfortable going to a club, being 60 some years old or whatever, with a 20 something, going to a club, partying with her 20 something friends. You might feel a little out of place. So that's always an issue. But for me, that's why I like the older women, because older Asian women still look great. You can still find a beautiful Asian woman, whether it's in the Philippines, here in Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, wherever, and you can find one that's, working up to 40 years old and still look like they're in their 20s. So that's, and they're done with their wildness. They're ready to settle down a little bit. So let's see. Does your condo have concierge security desk? Yeah. So in order to, you can get into the front door where the lobby is. But in order to get to the elevators, it's facial recognition. So you can't even get through the door. And then in the elevator, you have a key card that will get you to your floor. And it's only good for your floor and the floors that have the facilities like the gym, the pool, the co-working space, the rooftop. You can't get on any other floor with your particular card. So it's very secure. So that's the one thing I like about condo life here in Southeast Asia, is very, very secure. That's a peace of mind thing. So plus you get all the amenities, which really makes it nice. So I don't need to buy a gym membership. I've got a decent gym upstairs. It's got a great pool. Got a really nice co-working space. In fact, after I interviewed Ern, we went to our co-working space. She wanted to get somewhere more quiet, so we went into my co-working space upstairs, and she did the interview with me for her channel up there. And so that'll show up in the next week or so, probably. But she does a live stream every morning, so she gets pretty busy with that. So I don't know when that interview is going to happen. But anyway, that's what I like about condo life, is one of the things, the security, and then you got all the amenities, so you don't need to pay for anything extra. The security in a lot of buildings are overkill. Thailand is already safe. Yeah, that's true, but you never know. I mean, I don't mind. I think the security level I have here is fine. They don't, a lot of places, like in the Philippines, a lot of places will make your guests check in with an ID anytime they're coming to visit. That's a little bit overkill for me. So like when Ern came over and we went up to the co-working space, we just walked in. They never asked me any questions, because obviously they know who I am, because I've been here long enough. So they don't ask questions. So if I wanted to bring a girl, say, or anybody over, they don't have to check in. So that's nice. In the Philippines and maybe some places in Thailand, it might be a little bit of overkill in that respect. Amenities are cool when they are part of the rent. Yeah, it's all part of it. My rent is, they were asking 30,000 baht a month, and I talked them down to, I negotiated down to 25,000. So I think I got a pretty good deal. I got a really nice condo. It's good size, perfect size for me. 1 bedroom, and great facilities. So I'm super happy with where I'm at. I'll be here for 2 years. Hi from Arkansas, getting hot for here, now hitting 90s. Yeah, I noticed that. Was it Thursday in Oklahoma City? That's where the first round of the regional was, where Nebraska played in the NCAA tournament. It was in the upper 80s or 90 there too. So it's like summer. So it's like here, it's going to get up to 92 today here. So yeah, Arkansas is still in it, right? They're still in the tournament. I don't know if you're a big college basketball fan or not, Jerry. Were you scared that half-court shot was going to go down? Well, I was pretty confident that they weren't going to get a decent look, but man, that came pretty close. So yeah, that made me hold my breath for a little bit, Vandy, but that was a great game, wasn't it? I mean, either way, even if Nebraska had ended up losing, Vanderbilt's a tough team, man. They're a tough team, and that was such a great game, so exciting, better than the blowout. And yeah, the blowout yesterday was great because it was our first NCAA win ever, but this one was it's one for the ages. It was great. So glad you came on today. Hey, JJ, hi from Toronto. Still cold here, 40 degrees at best. Yeah, anything below 55 is too cold for me now. I've gotten acclimated to being warm all the time. So like 2 years ago, I spent, well, it's not quite 2 years ago, I guess December 2024 through March or into March of 2025. I was in Da Nang, Vietnam, and it was cold there. It was the rainy season, and it got down in the low 60s at night, and it rained almost every day. So that was enough for me. I didn't need anything colder than that. It was a nice change of pace, but I'm happy to be back in a warm climate. So, all right, we got 23 on already. Good deal. What else is on you guys' mind? We can talk a little bit about what's going on in my life. 2 weeks ago, yesterday, I got in a motorcycle accident and fractured my what is that? The shoulder blade. I can't think of I want to say spatula, but that's not right. But fractured my shoulder blade, and then possible fracture in my shoulder. The shoulder blade's healing pretty good. Scapula is what I'm trying to think of. And I bruised some ribs here. The shoulder blade's healing pretty good. It's just a little bit of a pain yet. The ribs, it's not real bad. I tell you what really hurts is my shoulder right here in the front. So I think I might have tore a muscle or damaged a muscle here, because that still hurts really bad. And I was hoping I would be healed enough to start golfing again in the next week or so, but I think it's going to be a few more weeks. So, yeah, so it's a slow process, but I'll tough it out. I take the ibuprofen. I got some cream I rub on for the muscle. That helps a little bit, but I can tell when the ibuprofen wears off, because then it's like it really hurts. I'm a transplant to Arkansas, but they don't want to hear about people being fans of other teams. Blasphemy. Yeah, I hear you. I lived in Kansas for a while, worked in Manhattan, Kansas. That's Kansas State University there. And I worked for the radio station that was the flagship station for Kansas State sports. So I had to pretend to be a Kansas State fan. Even when Nebraska would come to play football there, I'd do the pregame tailgate show outside the stadium wearing purple and pretending I was a Wildcat fan. And then when the broadcast was over, I changed into my red, go into the stadium and root for Nebraska. So yeah, I know what you mean exactly. How's the shoulder? Recovering well? Yeah. How's the bad situation in Thailand, or bad or health? Anyway, I gave you an update on the shoulder. It's a slow process, but my flight from Da Nang to Hong Kong tomorrow is $200, normally $75. Yeah, prices are up, which hopefully this whole thing in that Iran issue is going to go away soon. I hope, but we'll see. Hey, Dave. Hello, JJ. Good morning to you. Good morning, Dave. How's it going? Thanks for coming on board this morning. Thanks for being a member, by the way. Thanks for everybody who's a member. Recovery is slow, like I just said. What were you driving? How did it happen? Okay, so I was on a motorcycle heading to supper with my friends. We each rented a motorcycle, and I'm driving along the street. This is in Hua Hin, and it was the weekend we were supposed to go golf, but I didn't even get to see the golf course because I got in the accident first. So we're driving to dinner after basically getting checked in a hotel, getting our bikes, and I'm driving by this white SUV, and then on the other side of the SUV is a street vendor, and I go around them, and then there's a guy walking in the street, and I didn't see him. And then when I saw him, it was too late. I tried to avoid him. I actually clipped him, ran my handlebar into his back, I think, flipped me, didn't do anything to him. In fact, he left the scene. I think he was afraid he was liable or something, but I asked, it's like, where is he? Because I wanted to make sure I didn't hurt him, but he walked away. But it happened right in front of the hospital there. And so that was convenient. So they wheeled me in and took x-rays. The whole procedure, everything cost me about a little over 8,000 baht, about 8,700 baht, which is about $280, something like that. So it wasn't bad. I just paid out of pocket. So, but I'm on the heel. Glad you're getting better. How gas situation in Thailand, the Iran war, change anything over there? I don't know, because I don't drive, so I really don't know what the gas. I've seen videos on YouTube where there's lines and lines of cars waiting to get gas, and I've heard that they're closing the stations down at 10 p.m. every night. But then when I'm driving around or I'm riding around, we go by gas stations and there's no lines. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know who to believe or what to believe anymore. Are you going to do some follow-up checks on your post-crash medical status? I might. I don't know. Depends. I want to see how I recover, because the orthopedic surgeon said there's no real treatment for the fractures. And he said that I would have to get a CT scan on my shoulder to see if it's an actual fracture or just ligament or muscle damage. And I asked him, what's the difference in treatment? He goes, there is no difference. So I passed on the CT scan. So I've had problems with this shoulder before. I've had a partial tear in this muscle, and it took me about 4 months to recover from it. And it feels like it's the same thing. So I may have re-injured it. That's my guess. So we'll see how the recovery goes. But yeah, I'm a pretty good self-healer, I guess. So do you have to have insurance for driving there? Yeah, you should. I mean, I don't think you have to, but you should. I bought my tickets already for May to travel to Bangkok. Glad I did. Yeah, you probably saved a few $100s, I would guess, Dave. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you here when you get here. That'll be fun to meet you. But so I'm not going to be on too long today, guys. I'm kind of beat. I haven't been sleeping really well because it's hard to find a comfortable position when you got a bum shoulder and a bum back. So I'll probably just go an hour. I don't know yet. Just depends on how the chat is. And I don't really have a plan as far as agenda for the live as far as topics or anything. I was going to talk about one of the videos I was planning on making. We can kind of talk about Earn Lucky Girl, who I interviewed yesterday. If you guys have any questions on her, if you don't know her channel, it's Earn Lucky Girl. She's a cute little girl from Isan, and we become friends from the minute I moved here. So, but that's it, just friends. So I don't know that she's dating anybody, but let's see, what months are Mad Tourist season? We just passed the high season. High season is like from December through February. That's where the temperatures are nice. It doesn't rain much. Yeah, so a lot of tourists come at that time, which now I'm glad we're kind of getting into low season. It's not as busy. You don't see as many. Like, I'm on the train daily and I don't see nearly as many foreigners. It's mostly locals now that I see. I'm usually one of the few foreigners that are on the train. So that's kind of nice, in a selfish kind of way. It's like I'd rather just deal with the locals than the foreigners. And here in the condo, there's a lot of, you're not supposed to, but I know there's a lot of units that do Airbnb here, and they have short-term tourists that come here. I know for a fact because I did it. One of the first or second time I came to Bangkok, I stayed at this condo, not this particular unit, but this condo as on an Airbnb, and I stayed for like 5 or 7 days. And you're not supposed to be able to rent condos like that for under 30 days. So, but I know it happens, and I see people coming in with all their luggage, and then 5 days later, I see the same people with all their luggage leaving. So they come and go. Did you hear about the bank account situation I heard about where new Ed Visa holders can't get an account? I have not heard that. Now, I know there was a crackdown because a lot of these people were coming into Thailand, getting an education visa, but using it to work and not using it as an actual education visa. And they cracked down on that. And I don't know how they were getting away with that, because with my education visa, when I do my 90-day extension, I have to show my actual school attendance record. I have to show that I'm actually attending school. It's an official document from the school, and all the forms are filled out by the school. So I don't know how they're getting away with that, but I guess they cracked down on it. So, but I don't know about the new ones. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I have not heard anything. Some days gas is hard to find, other days no problem. Depends on deliveries to the stations. I fill up every time I drive to town. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I know a lot of people, maybe, if they have pickups or whatever, they get those big 5-gallon gas jugs, and they'll load those up too. Do you recommend going to Chinatown when I first come over to see the tourist area? Yeah, absolutely. Chinatown's neat. That whole area is really cool. I mean, you can't really go wrong in Bangkok. There's a lot of really neat areas to check out, but Chinatown's definitely one of them. Yeah, absolutely. Go visit Chinatown. What are people saying in Bangkok about the war and its effect on supplies and prices in Thailand? I haven't seen a lot of price changes yet. I think it's too early to tell. We're too early into this conflict yet to tell if there's going to be an issue with supply and demand, and that's what's going to jack the prices up if there's a demand and there's no supply. If the supply is short, the key is keeping that Strait of Hormuz open, and hopefully that happens. And we'll see what goes on in the next, I would say, next 3 or 4 weeks. If it's still going on, then you might see some issues. Boobs are for you. Okay. Yeah, I like boobs. I'm a boob guy. I'm actually a leg guy. Hey, Edwin. Hi, JJ from Kansas City, Missouri. Thanks for coming on board this morning, Edwin. Yeah, I'm more of a leg guy, Matthew. Or Matt. Nothing wrong with the boobs either. So up here, they don't allow large containers and sometimes limit how much you can put in your car. I think they probably are doing that here to some extent. And then closing the stations down at 10 at night. I don't know if that's going to have any effect. That's just going to make the lines longer before 10, I would think. Because if people need gas, they're going to get gas. If they usually get gas at midnight and they can't, they're going to get their gas before 10. And so I think that's going to make the lines longer. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Do massage and bar girl prices change after tourist season rush? Yeah, they do, or they can. Here's what's going on with the massage thing, and I might do a video on this, because I read the other day that the massage industry, the government's going to try to regulate it a little better, and they want to make sure that the people that work at the massage parlors are actually certified to be massage, to do massage. So that's going to eliminate a lot of the people that work at these massage parlors that aren't certified, so to speak. And what they want to do with that then is raise the amount of money that these people make. I think they make an average of 300 baht. They want to raise it up to 450. So you might see your massages go up in price. Right now, they're pretty cheap. I mean, you can go here in Bangkok, average price for a regular 1 hour massage is about 300 baht, maybe 350. You can go to some places and get a little cheaper than that, but for the most part, it's like 350. So you may see those go up, but generally in the low season, you get a little better prices. You get better prices in hotels. Usually the flights are cheaper, but obviously with the issues going on in Iran, flight prices are going up. Now they are implementing, or they may have already implemented a price hike in, I don't know what they call it, like a exit tax or an exit fee. So when you leave Thailand, before you were paying like 300 baht on your ticket. Now it's going up to like 750 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure the prices. It may be higher than that, but those show up on your ticket. You don't pay those extra. Those show up right on your price of your ticket that you pay. So those prices are going up, but that has nothing to do with a high season or low season. That's just they want to get more income, more revenue to put back into the infrastructure, which is great if it actually happens. If they do that in the Philippines too, but most of the time that money that they make for infrastructure for the Philippines disappears and it never happens, never comes to fruition. So we'll see. If they do say the new Ed Visa can't get a bank account, it will affect my ability to get my non-O after, because I need the deposits while on an Ed Visa. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, Jerry. That's a good question. I'll try to see if I know anybody that's getting the Ed Visa, and try to see if they've tried to get a bank account recently. I'll do a little research on the ground here for you. I'm going to have to go back and look at your earlier videos of the subway transport to get around. You know, I might do a videos. I've been asked to do a videos like how do you get around on the trains in Bangkok. So I might do a video on that. It's hard for me to get around now because if I walk a lot, then my shoulder starts hurting. So I'm trying to do more videos kind of locally, so I don't have to do a lot of walking. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The high today was 91. Thanks for sending some tropical weather our way, JJ. Yeah, it's gotten warm there. Yeah. What do they call that? Unseasonably warm. How far out of Bangkok is the nearest golf course? Not far at all. I think there's some right in Bangkok. Let me do a quick Google search. Golf. Okay. I'll see if I can find the closest one to me. That's indoor. Let's see. There's Kruntep Krita Golf Course, which is Bangkok Golf Course. That's right there on the red line, like on the way to Suvarnabhumi Airport. So there's that one. There's Navatani Golf Course up a little north of there. There's Panye Indra Golf Course. They're all over. The Legacy Golf Course. They're all over in Bangkok. So you don't have to go far out of. Now in the central part of the city, there isn't anything. But if you can go a little farther north or a little farther east, you're going to run into some good golf courses. But I like Hua Hin because the courses are a little cheaper, and it's a little easier to get to than here, because you would have to take a Grab. You take a Grab in Hua Hin too, but you're not paying as much. All Thailand is in massage business. Yeah, seems like it, right? Or cannabis. 100% humidity. Wow. Nice. Yeah, it gets that way here. You walk outside and you automatically feel like you need a shower. If I came to Bangkok for 3 to 4 weeks, would you recommend I use an Airbnb? What might cost for modest place but good location be like? Okay, Jay. Yeah, I would do an Airbnb. You can do Agoda. Check the prices at Agoda. Hotels. If you're only staying 3 to 4 weeks, you might find a good deal on a hotel. Service departments. The nice thing about hotels is that you get the room service. You get they change out your linens and your towels every day and all that. So that's the nice thing. So I would just kind of look around there, for hotels. Maybe go through Agoda or one of those websites. The cost would be, I don't know. It just depends what area you're in. Because it really can vary. If you're in this area, in the middle part of the tourist area, you're going to pay a lot more than you would if you're kind of in the outskirts. But you can find some really nice places kind of away from the touristy area, but still close to the trains. So you can get to the tourist area fairly easily. So it's hard to say, and the prices do fluctuate. So I really can't say what kind of price you're going to be paying. Just depends, depends a lot on what time of the year you come, where you stay at in Bangkok. So I know it doesn't really answer your question, Jay, but try the best I can. I haven't had to get an Airbnb here for a couple of years now. So coffee's so good. Anyway, so let's get caught up on. I've heard much about Filipinos being scammers. Or Thailand girls similar? I think there probably are some, but I think the difference with Philippines and Thailand or even Vietnam is the poverty level is so much higher in the Philippines. So they become a little more, for lack of a term, desperate to make an income. And a lot of the Filipinos, their education level is a little lower, so they can't get decent jobs. And now I'm hearing that even to get a basic job in retail, you have to have a college degree, basically. So if a Filipina doesn't go to college, she can't get those kind of jobs. So it's really tough for them. And so some of them resort to that scam opportunity that arises. And I don't think it's so much scam. It's more of a, well, if the foreigner is willing to give me money, I'm not going to say no. And really, that kind of brings me into the next subject. I was going to do a video on simps, on being a simp or being a pay pig. And the difference between the two. And if you haven't heard of a pay pig, it's kind of a financial sub or a fin sub. So the core motivation for a simp is you give money to these girls in hopes for affection, validation, or that fairy tale relationship through kindness / money. The pay pig is you receive that gratification, whether it's psychological or whatever, specifically from the act of giving up your money. so there's that. But really, we talk about this. I talked a little bit about this with Ern in the video that you guys will see probably later this week, about age gap dating. And it's not a big thing in the Philippines. You see all the time, you see 60-plus-year-old guys, some of them in their 70s, dating girls barely in their 20s in the Philippines. And it doesn't seem like a big deal. But is it really love, or is the relationship more transactional? And not to say a transactional relationship is a bad thing, because it's basically a quid pro quo. you know, he's giving her money. So, and that stability and that lifestyle that she's never had before, she's giving him that companionship, that sexual satisfaction from a young, beautiful Asian girl that he's never had before. So it's kind of a give and take. And as long as both parties know what they're doing and it's, you know, on the up and up and it's legal, then I don't see anything wrong with it. Me personally, I just don't see myself ever wanting to date anybody in their 20s again. I've passed that a long time ago. That train's left the station. Is the month of May a good time to go to Bangkok, Pattaya, and Hua Hin? Yes, you're a pay pig. Okay. It's going to be hot, but it's going to be the weather is going to be nice. I mean, it won't rain. You're not going to get a lot of rainy days, but it will be hot and humid. So if you're okay with that, then yeah, May is a good time to go. And generally, it's cheaper to go then. I'll probably just go back to Da Nang, Vietnam. Yeah. Da Nang's great. I love Da Nang, but Da Nang will get hot too. You're going to, in May, it's really hot there too, just as hot as it is here in Bangkok. It's always transactional, like time, money, and security. Yeah, you're right. It is transactional to an extent, but there is love involved. I mean, yes, you may be giving them a better life, but some of them actually love the person they're with, and it's not just about money. And you know, some of these girls, maybe they can get an even better life with someone else, money wise and that, but they'll stay with the guy they're with because it's developed into a love relationship. So, but really in Thailand, a lot more of the girls work. Their career, you know, they've got college education, they're career minded, so they do work. So it's a little different dynamic than in the Philippines. You ever had a typhoon since living there? Not in Bangkok or not in Thailand. In the Philippines, yeah, typhoons happen all the time there. They average like 20 or 22 typhoons a year. But it depends what area in the Philippines you live in as far as the severity. Now, I lived in Metro Manila and BGC, so we were kind of sheltered. Typhoons would run through there, but it didn't really affect us like it would in the villages or the provinces where it would really devastate those areas. But yeah, Philippines gets nailed. Vietnam can get rough, but here in Bangkok, it's it's almost landlocked. We've got the what do they call that? The Bay of Thailand. But even the bay is kind of landlocked on either side. So when typhoons come, they hit the Philippines first, and then if they don't turn up toward Taiwan, they'll enter Vietnam. They'll pick up steam and strength in the ocean. Then they hit Vietnam, and then by the time they get to Thailand, they've lost enough strength, so it really doesn't affect Thailand that much. I'm sure sometimes it does, but I've never had an issue with it. I've never been in one here. I just booked a hotel where I used to hang out every day for a visit in a couple of weeks. Wow, the prices have gone up. How much, you're talking about in Bangkok? How much did you pay for your hotel there? What? I don't know. Chivalry. Yeah, chivalry. Treating the girl right. That's important, especially I think in Southeast Asia, it's still a thing. I think women in Southeast Asia appreciate that. Not so much in the West because they're just crazy there. Are you watching the NCAA tournament now? Not now. I'm on the air live, but I watched the Nebraska Vanderbilt game and Go Big Red, GBR. So yeah, that was a great game. I haven't looked at my brackets lately. I don't know how I'm doing. I usually find a better deal on Agoda, than the other hotel accommodation apps. However, for other types of short-term stays, Airbnb is a good option and probably cheaper than Agoda hotel stays. Yeah, you just kind of have to look. And then always get the ones that are, what do they call that in on Airbnbs? They're verified. I can't remember what they call those. You don't want to get anybody that's not verified, otherwise you're kind of taking your chances. Agreed. Agoda is the best for Southeast Asia in my experience. Yeah, I've used Agoda for 11 years now, traveling to Southeast Asia. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it, and you can find some pretty decent deals. Now I know like like Village Farang. Do you use a VPN? Do you use the VPN as local in Thailand to book your accommodations, or does your VPN have your home country like the US or whatever? Because I think you can probably get a price difference depending where it shows your IP address. Is there a place in the Philippines you would recommend for a first timer? If you're looking for a soft landing, I would say Cebu or Metro Manila, not Manila proper, but outside of Metro Manila, like Makati or BGC, Bonifacio Global City. Those areas are more modern, more Western. And if you're coming from the West, that's going to be a better soft landing for you rather than going right to the provinces. I would avoid the provinces. You could travel there and visit, but I wouldn't like plan on being the first place that you stay at any length of time. So that would be my suggestion, my advice. Ladies friendly in Cebu. Yeah, you can find some friendly ladies in Cebu. You can find some friendly guys in Cebu too. The Erawan for around 7,000 baht. I used to live in that area and was a member of the health club as well as being a lobby rat. The Erawan, where is that at? I'm not familiar with that. So 7,000, is that for the length of stay there? How many days or how many nights are you staying there? That's about 200 some dollars. I saw the shipwreck Eva Jocelyn in Leyte Gulf that blew on shore in Typhoon Yolanda in 2013. Wow. Yeah, but that was crazy. There's been some pretty rough typhoons going through the Philippines. If you could go back in time and you were single, no kids, and semi-retired at 33, what would you do? If I knew then what I know now, I would come to Southeast Asia right away. If I had the means, as far as finances and that sort of thing, I would definitely come to Southeast Asia, probably Thailand. Cebu sounds nice. I love pretty and nice women. Yeah, well, you're going to find pretty and nice women everywhere in the Philippines. They're all over. And the thing about the Cebu is you'll find a lot of province girls that work there in Cebu, in call centers and that. So, and province girls are probably a little easier to date than the city girls because they're not as westernized, so to speak. So that's probably a plus for Cebu. 230-mile-an-hour winds and 6,000 people were killed in that. Oh, that's so sad. But yeah, it's so awful. The Philippines just gets nailed with everything. They got typhoons, they got mudslides, earthquakes, floods, drought. I mean, they call it the Ring of Fire for a reason. What do you think will happen with the Philippines when all the call center jobs are wiped out by AI? Yeah, that's a good question because it's going to happen in the next 2 years. You're going to see a lot more Filipinos working overseas as OFWs, working as housekeepers and that sort of thing. Or you're going to see a lot more, hopefully, here's what I hope will happen, but I doubt it. Hopefully the government will be proactive in that and figure out a way to get these Filipinos that are in these jobs that are going away, get them an education, find some way to help with their education, help pay for their education so they can get a good degree and get other jobs. Hopefully that will happen, but we'll see. Who knows? 7,000 per night for 3 days. Wow. We don't use VPN, check prices on Agoda, and sometimes call the hotel direct to compare prices. Wow, 7,000 a night. Must be a nice place. So sad, yeah. Cost of plane tickets from Bangkok to Cebu. I don't know, Jay. Let me do a quick look. I use Momondo. Let me share my screen with you guys so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. You guys see my screen? Okay. All right. So we want to go from Bangkok to Manila. Oh. Yeah, excuse me, guys. It hurts to type. Oh, we want to go to Cebu, don't we? I'm sorry. When are you looking at going? So here with Momondo, the yellow dates are average prices, the red dates are higher prices, and the green dates are lower prices. So did you say when you were planning on going? Let me look here. Spring or summer? Okay. Okay. So let me look at, so we're in spring basically. So let's look at, so here's May and June. So you got some pretty good prices from Bangkok to Cebu. So let's just do one way. Well, come on, guys. Okay, hang on a second here. Something's going on with my, let's go back. Riveting, isn't it? Let's say Mactan International. Okay. All right, let's say June 14th. Direct flight only. Okay, so this will bring up all the direct flights on June 14th. Oh, you know what? I didn't do a return flight. Let's go back. You said 2 weeks. Hang on a second. June 14th to here. Let's go back. Let's change this all. Let's go June 10th to June 23rd. That's 2 weeks. Okay. All right. This is round trip. So actually that's not bad. So you can go by the best flight. Oh, we got to change that to nonstop. Okay, so nonstop, you don't have a lot of choices. 233, so that's a little over $115 each way. That's about what you're going to pay to go to the Philippines. For some reason, it's more expensive to go to the Philippines. Say if I wanted to go to Da Nang, Vietnam. Same dates. It's a shorter flight by a couple hours, and you're only paying about half the price. So that's really cheap, $123 round trip. But you can lock those prices in because if this whole thing in Iran keeps going, those prices are going to go up. So anyway, but I use Momondo to do my flights. The Erawan is near Central World. Oh, okay. So you're up by Siam. Yeah, that's an expensive area. Really neat area though. AI chat maybe, but not voice. Yeah, I think you're going to get voice. I mean, you can get voice with AI now. You can talk to an AI, Chat GPT, any of the others, and they'll talk to you right back. So I think that's happening. And in 2 years, definitely. It costs less to hire them, but we'll see. Hire. Okay. If I were single, no kids, semi-retired at 33, I would pat myself on the back and think I was the luckiest guy in the world. Absolutely. At 33, that would be nice. I can't imagine being semi-retired at 33. I was just really getting started in my career. Agreed. Lucky man. Absolutely. Spring and summer. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about moving to Southeast Asia for a few years. I really want to find a wife and start a family, but I want to do it right and not rush things. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, just don't take just don't jump at it. Skyscanner's good. Yeah, I've heard that Skyscanner's pretty good too. I was shocked by the price, but I wanted to revisit my old haunts. My wife didn't want me to spend that much, but finally gave in. That's typical. So my Filipina girlfriend was like that. Here's what you'll find. Now, Philippine girlfriends, they're either one of two types. One that has been kind of westernized, so it's like, oh, spend as much money as you can on me, and the other is like, oh, don't spend that money. We can, don't buy that at the grocery store, right? Or don't buy that at the restaurant. I can cook it at home, or that those clothes are too expensive. I can go to the Visoria market and get it a lot cheaper, the same thing. So you have those two, the ones that are more frugal, that's the one you want to look for. So, but yeah, it sounds like you got the same thing going on and with your wife there, Village Farang. So good for you. Okay, where are we at here? We're at about 5 minutes to the top of the hour. We got 24 on. As long as you guys have topics on chat, if you guys keep the chat going, we'll keep going. Just let me know what's on your mind. How's your bracket doing in the NCAA? I don't know that I have a good bracket anymore. I haven't really looked today. Let's see if I can find it here. I did 3 brackets. I did one with ChatGPT. I said, fill out my bracket for me. And I did one with Google Gemini. And then I did one on my own. And the Google Gemini had the Final Four mixed up. They had the wrong teams playing in the wrong brackets. So I said, you got the wrong teams playing in the Final Four. And it comes back and says, oh, you're right, Eagle Eye. So he changed it. And when he changed it, or it changed it, or whatever it is, when it changed it, it changed all the picks. So the picks were all different from before. So instead of just keeping everything the same up until where the mistake was made. So it's like, whatever. But I think my bracket is doing better than the 2 AI brackets. So I guess I got that going for me. Let's see if I can find one of my brackets here. Yeah, I'm going to have to look. I don't see anything yet. Thought I had it in that one. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know how my bracket's doing. I know I'm not winning anything. That's for sure. God awful bracket. Yeah. Mine too, I think. Adam Fente says, good morning, JJ, watching from Da Nang. Oh, awesome. Good. How's the weather in Da Nang, Adam? Love Da Nang, Vietnam. Yeah, who doesn't? It's such a great town. Coming back next month. Okay, very good. How's your language class going? Learning lots or slow going? It says steady, slow and steady. It's been good though. It's been fun. I didn't go this past class because my shoulder was hurting so bad. I just decided to stay home and nurse my wounds. Best way to meet educated Thai women. I would say find meetup groups. You can go. There's a site you can go to called meetup.com or something like that, or you can go to Facebook and find groups in Facebook that that you can meet people from Thailand or foreigners too. I mean, a mix. I would do that. Internations is a good way to meet educated Thai people, Thai women. I belong to the Bangkok Internations group. I was with the Manila one, but when I moved here, I changed my membership over to that. So Internations is a good way to meet. That's a good way to network. If you're still working, if you want to network, you can do that through them, or just use it as a social networking to meet people. That's what I would do. I'd find groups that meet, something that's, maybe you have similar hobbies or things like that. Weather has been beautiful this past week, between 78 and 80 every day, with a good breeze and plenty of yellow sun and blue skies. Nice. I bet that ocean looks really great there. That's perfect, man. I should go down there, but I have school, so I can't take too many days off, but maybe a weekend. Maybe I'll get a leave on a Friday and come back on a Tuesday and make 4 days there. That would be fun before the weather gets too hot there, like it is here. It won't be long. It won't be long until it gets really warm there. What else is on your mind, guys? What else is going on in your life? Anything exciting? My life's been good. Went to a couple of night markets this week. Took a friend to a couple of night markets he hadn't been to. So that was fun. Street food is so good here. I could almost live on it every day, but I got to break away once in a while. Had lunch at PJ O'Brien's yesterday. That was good. Had the burger, had the bacon cheeseburger, which was good. I usually get the chicken parm. That's the special on Saturday there, because you get a pint of beer, but I wasn't really interested in drinking beer yesterday. So I just had a cheeseburger and fries and water. So I got my Western fix for food for the week. I'll do the Western thing a couple of times a week. I'll do the Thai thing a few times a week. I try to mix it up a little bit. Sometimes I'll just go right outside down the street. There's a vendor that sells street food, barbecue stuff, and I'll just grab some of that for like 40 baht, and that'll be my dinner. So let's see. Jay says, technically you have to study Thai for 5 years to maintain a visa. Where did you get that information? I don't know what you mean by that. I've never seen anything where you have to study Thai for 5 years to maintain a visa. An education visa is only going to last you like a year. JJ, do you have any plans for Songkran? No, nothing solid, nothing in writing, nothing that I've thought about. My friend said he would loan me his webcam, not webcam, but his action cam that's waterproof. I don't want to take my phone or camera out and get it all wet. But he said he'd loan me his action cam, which is waterproof. So I may use that and go out and check things out. I've never been here for Songkran. This will be my first Songkran here, so that'll be kind of exciting. So I may do a live stream. I don't know yet. Life is good, but I think as each week goes by, the prices for gas and everything else will go up due to the war. Now might be the calm before the storm. Yeah, who knows? I hope it doesn't last much longer, but it's hard to say. I mean, I hear both sides, both ends. One person says it's not going to last much longer. Another person says it's the start of World War III. Whatever. We're too old for a water fight. Yeah, I know, right? I would just rather sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else get wet. But I don't think that's possible. I think when you're outside in the mix, you're going to get squirted. How do you make good friends where you live? I'm not talking about tourism friends. I've got a good group of friends that live here that are permanent residents here. Met them through a couple of ways. I met them through a couple of different YouTube channels, actually. But yeah, I've got a couple of small, really good circle of friends here. Does the car storage place know you're out of the country? Yeah, they know. But my cousin is taking care of everything, and he knows the guy. He's good friends with the guy who owns the storage place, so I'm not worried about my car. Hey, Bobby, ahoy! How's things going? Thanks for joining this morning. What else is on your mind, guys? We're up to close to 30. Still on. That's good. I got no plans today. I need to go get something to eat. How's the shoulder today? It feels okay right now. I'm loaded up on ibuprofen though, so we'll see. And I got the cream. I put the cream on my arm. It's the front part that hurts the worst, and I think it's the same injury I had before, like back in 2020, I think it was, or 2021. I injured it somehow, and it feels like the same injury. So it's probably one of those things that never really healed all the way. And then when I landed on the pavement, that probably re-injured it. I didn't hear the answer about whether you have to keep studying for 5 years, give or take, to maintain your education visa, and what's the plan after that. I've never heard that you have to keep studying for 5 years. My education visa will end at the end of this year, basically. And then I will transfer that into a retirement visa. So I don't know I haven't heard anything about doing an education visa for 5 years. This is the first I'm hearing it. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it does. It sucks, but that's okay. How do you feel about your Thai language classes? How do you feel you're making progress? I think I'm making progress. It's slow, but right now we're in level 2, and we just started level 2 a couple of weeks ago. And basically we're working on sentence structure and vocabulary. So we're learning new words. We're learning how to read and write. So that part is going pretty well. Yeah, I think it's going pretty well. I'm enjoying it. I try to practice when I'm out in public. I think he's talking about a DTV. Yeah, maybe DTV is a 5-year thing, but you don't have to do education with a DTV. It allows you to work. You can work. You can do those soft skill, like do Muay Thai boxing or cooking or things like that with a DTV, but I don't think you have to. I think you just have to show you've got a certain amount of money in your bank account, and if you're working, you got to show a little bit of income. I got a friend who's on a DTV, but it just depends on what works for you. I think you're doing good in your classes. If you can explain things to me that makes sense, that's something. Yeah, I was trying to teach Bobby how to read Thai language on the BTS the other night. That was fun. But yeah, exactly. So like, 6 months ago, I would have had no idea what any of those symbols mean. Now I'm kind of getting it. I understand what the symbols mean. I know the consonants. I know the vowels. I know the tone marks, most of them. But yeah, it's that's the progress, I guess, guys. I'm making some progress in that, so I'm happy. I'm happy with that. What else is up? What's up? In the future, are you planning to have a girlfriend or companionship in Bangkok? Yes, I am. But when that happens, you guys won't know about it. It'll be my little secret. That's one thing I decided that I will no longer make public on my YouTube channel, and that's my relationships. Because I've seen other YouTubers do that, and it's gone south, and it hasn't been good. So I've decided that if and when, maybe I already have a relationship, you guys will never know. So let's see. I visited Bangkok in January and February of last year. Beautiful experience, but Bangkok felt crowded, especially with MRT and BTS. Just my takeaway. Yeah, January and February, it's going to be crowded because you're right toward the end of high season there. If you go now, you're not going to see nearly as many foreigners in the BTS or the MRTs as you do locals, so it's not nearly as crowded. Now, when you go in January and February, you're going to run into the pollution issues, because just to be factual and be honest and straight up with you guys, they got that burning season, and a lot of times the air quality gets really bad here in Bangkok, and January and February is the worst times. And this year it was particularly bad. So you got to kind of get away if that affects you. Smart man, only 2 people in the relationship. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just look at, my friend Gio. He got married, and when he ended up getting, separated and divorced, he got blasted on YouTube for it. It's like, why? I mean, and then, all of a sudden, you're showing your YouTube channel with both you and your girlfriend or you and your wife. And if you split up, it's like getting a divorce, and your family has to make decisions on who to back, the ex-husband or the ex-wife, you or your ex-wife. So you're creating that division, and that's just not fun. So I'm not going to do that. I'll definitely not put her on. If I have a girlfriend or whatever, she's not going on you're not going to see her anywhere on my channels. I think you're smart to keep all your personal relationships private. Yeah. So here's what I keep private: my finances, my relationships, and politics and religion. I try to keep out of that too. Yes, I remember some days we had free MRT and BTS to encourage less driving. Yeah, that was in 2025, beginning of 2025. Yeah. They did that. They didn't do it this year, but it was bad this year too, the air quality. Promise us also you won't promote any of those dating sites. I did promote one, but yeah, if I don't believe in something, I won't promote it, guys. So, and I'm not a big believer in most of the dating sites. Yeah, it's my first few months here, and the drop off of tourists was dramatic. One day it was crowded. 3 days later, 70% of the people were gone. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it almost feels like it's overnight, doesn't it? Feels like one day it's like just packed with foreigners, and then the next Monday or whatever, everybody's gone, which is great. I love low season, even though it's hot, and rainy season. I don't mind rainy season because, yeah, it rains, but here in Bangkok, it'll rain for a couple hours in the afternoon, and then it's fine. So you just drop into a pub somewhere and wait it out, and there's not as many people around, so you got a lot better. It's easier to walk around. I better be invited to the wedding, though. I don't know about that. Several top YouTube guys don't spotlight their wives or girlfriends, but they don't hide them. Adam Patty. Right. Right. So yes. So Patty just got married and he talks about that, which is great. I mean, but she's not on his channel. And Adam, Keys One, he's got a girlfriend and he talks about her, but she's not on his channel either, prominently. So that's where I would draw the line. But I don't think I would even put her. I mean, it might be incidental. If I have a girlfriend, it might be incidental that you'll see her in my videos. But other than that, it's not going to be purposely. There's one guy that that's his whole channel. He promotes his Thai girlfriend. I think she's Thai girlfriend, shows her in bikinis all the time, shows her getting massages and barely wearing anything. And that's his shtick. That's his niche. And I guess that works okay for him. He gets tons of views from it. But if they ever split up, his channel's done. He won't get anybody watching anymore. Gay gangsters, Epstein rappers wearing baby oil, Moloch underwear. Yeah. It was like every day was a weekend for 2 months. Absolutely. Yeah, it was crazy busy. Would you consider Thailand politically stable? Yeah. I mean, they have their unrest like a lot of countries, but yeah, right now it's pretty stable. They just had an election. So, that new political party is getting installed and things will happen. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty stable. Now, if the economy continues to deteriorate like it has been, then you might see some issues come up. But I don't really get involved in the politics. I learned one thing coming over to another country is don't talk about their politics. Don't talk about the king. Don't talk about their religion. Just stay away from all that and you're going to be fine. Is there more foot traffic in the BTS and MRT since gas is going up? I will arrive in Bangkok for Songkran. They encouraged Thai people that work in Bangkok to not drive, to take the BTS and MRT if they can, to try to reduce the number of vehicles on the streets. I don't know if that's working or not. I think, sometimes during the day, during the busy part of the day, the BTS and the MRTs can be busy, like always. I don't know about the traffic. I haven't really paid attention to that. So I don't know if it's working or not. I think Village has a good point. Spotlighting your woman isn't a good idea. Geo is an extreme example. Single mother, tattoos. She has her own channel. It was a recipe for disaster. Well, she started her own channel after they were together. And that's another no. I would never, if I had a girlfriend, I would never let her do a channel because then the simps are coming out of the woodwork. And that's never good. That never ends well. Instability is actually good for us as the bot tends to go down. Yeah, right. But at the same time, if their GDP continues to shrink, that could be an issue for Thailand. It's good to have a strong dollar against the baht. What is it right now? Let me check and see what it is. It was almost 33 2 days ago. I haven't checked recently. It's 32.91. So it's getting close to 33, which is like, that's my point there. It's like, if I can get to 33, I feel really good about the exchange rate. So hopefully it'll continue to get better for us. We'll just see. The dollar hit 60 to the peso. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. That's crazy. The peso continues to get weaker and weaker and weaker. I don't know what they're doing over there, what's going on over there in the Philippines. All right, we're all caught up with chat. About an hour and 15 in. What else is on your guys' mind? We talked about dating. What else? Talked about the bot. Talked about prices going up. Talked about simps versus pay pigs. I did an interview with Earn Lucky Girl yesterday. I'll post that video sometime this week if I got time to edit it. If it gets over 33, you should consider sending over a lump sum. Yeah, I'm thinking that. I usually send 65,000 baht over every month, and that's usually on at the first of the month. So I'm thinking if it gets up to 33, I'll probably do that. Send a bunch of money over. That's what Joe, Eager Expat, he does. He says he does that. He says if the dollar exchange rate's really, really good, he'll send over a big lump sum. Is the Thai economy went to hell? Where is Southeast Asia would you immigrate to, and where in Southeast Asia would you immigrate to, and why? I don't see the economy going straight to hell. I don't think it's going to get really bad. I think they're looking at ways to help the economy by the fourth quarter. I mean, they were talking about the baht being at 33 baht to the dollar come April, and it's already there now, basically, and maybe 34 by the fourth quarter of this year. So they're well on their way to making that happen. But I'm not an economist, obviously, and I just know basic stuff. But I think things are good. But Vietnam would be a good option. I think it's cheap to live there. Philippines, your dollar bang for the buck is going to be really good if it stays above 60. That's like a record. I like the chemistry between you and Lucky Girl. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's super nice, and you'll see the video. Yeah, we get along really well. The girl you interviewed, is she the one who has the coffee shop? It's the girl yes. Oh, Earn. Yeah, she used to. She doesn't have it anymore. Now she just does her live stream, and she's got her studio, and she does a lot of traveling. She just got back from Hong Kong just the day before yesterday, I think. So, yeah, that's the one. She used to have a coffee shop, but yeah, she got rid of that. I'm not sure if she sold the stuff or if she just it wasn't a great location for her to be in, so she wasn't getting a lot of traffic. Who you think will win on March Madness Championship? Do you watch in Bangkok? Yeah, I do watch. I watched my Nebraska team beat Vanderbilt just now, a couple hours ago. That was a great game. Nebraska was up. They led by 10 a couple of times in the first half. They're up by 7 at the half. Then Vanderbilt came back in the second half, actually took the lead. Vanderbilt was up by 5 with like 4 minutes to go. And I'm thinking, oh, shoot. But then Nebraska fought back, and they ended up tying it with like under a minute to go, 30-some seconds to go. And then Vanderbilt had the ball. There was like a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And Vanderbilt took a shot and missed. Nebraska got the rebound, took it down, and scored a layup to take the lead, 72-70, with like 2 seconds to go, or 2.2 seconds to go. Vanderbilt got the inbound, took a shot at the buzzer, like from half court or whatever, and it was close. It was close to going in, but it didn't go in, and Nebraska won. So they're going to the Sweet 16. So I've got Nebraska. Actually, in my bracket, I've got Nebraska beating Florida in the Sweet 16, or maybe the final 8. I think Sweet 16. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the bracket. Anyway, so I got them beating Florida, upsetting Florida in the next round. But that's just my heart. That's not my head thinking. But I think I have Michigan playing Duke in the finals, and Michigan winning it. Now, Duke got a injury this week. One of their key players got injured, so that could affect things. But we'll see. Yeah, but I have been keeping track. So, who do you guys got in the tournament? Who do you guys got winning it all? What's your pick? Did you see that 7-foot center for Florida? I have not seen it. I haven't seen Florida play, but yeah, they're big boys. If Nebraska gets that far, it's the bracket. How come I'm not showing? Here we go. Hang on a second, guys. I want to see if I can find my bracket. So I can speak more accurately about I'll have to type it in. Gosh, my shoulder hurts when I move it. Everything's fine unless I move. Okay, let me share my screen here. Okay. There's the bracket. So I picked wonder if I can get just the traditional looking bracket. Hang on a second. Here we go. Make that bigger. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Official bracket. So I have Duke going to the Final Four. I had Ohio State winning, but TCU beat them. I had St. John's, Kansas this first round. I think I had South Florida upsetting Louisville. I had Michigan State, I had UCLA, UConn. I had Florida, Iowa, Vandy, Nebraska. I had VCU upsetting North Carolina. I had Illinois. I had Texas A&M, and I had Houston. So that side of the bracket wasn't too bad. Over here, I had Arizona winning. I had Villanova, so I missed that one. I had Wisconsin. I missed that one. I had Arkansas. I had Texas, Gonzaga. I think I picked Missouri on that one. I can't remember. I had Purdue, Michigan. I had Georgia. I had Texas Tech. I had Bama. I had Miami. So I think I missed that one. I had Virginia. I had Kentucky. And I had Iowa State. Second round, I had Duke winning. I've got Kansas. No, I have, I think I got St. John's beating Kansas. I had Michigan State. I got UCLA beating UConn in an upset. I got Florida beating Iowa. And then Nebraska, and then Illinois and Houston. Over here, I got Arizona winning, Arkansas winning, Texas winning. Oh, no, I had Gonzaga, I think. I think I had Gonzaga winning. Purdue winning, Michigan winning, Bama winning, Virginia winning, and Iowa State winning. And then I got Duke, Michigan State, Nebraska, and Illinois. No, Nebraska and Houston in the regional finals over there. And over here I have Arizona, Arizona, Purdue, Michigan, and Iowa State. And then I got Duke beating Michigan State. I got Houston beating Nebraska. I got Arizona beating, no, I got Purdue beating Arizona, and I got Michigan beating Iowa State. And then Michigan beating Purdue, and then Duke beating Houston, and then Michigan beating Duke in the finals. So there you go. Riveting stuff. But who do you got? Who do you guys have? But that's my bracket of integrity. Houston, if they keep scoring and they don't call fouls, are the physical team. Yeah, the refs today at the Nebraska Vanderbilt game, they were calling everything. That was a tough game because they were calling every foul. So that was really tough. I like Houston. I like Calvin Sampson. I think he's a great coach, and Indiana was stupid to get rid of him over a dumb phone call. But yeah, he's a good coach. I like him. I like Pitino and St. John's. I like Calipari in Arkansas. I just love those old guys. I like what's his name for Michigan State. That coach, he's great, old gruffy coach. But I love the old school coaches. I root for them. Have you done a condo tour and cost breakdown video? Curious how much Bangkok costs these days. Yeah, I did one when I first moved in back in November. I may do an update. But like I told Ern yesterday when she interviewed me, I transfer 65,000 baht over from my Social Security. I transfer a portion of my Social Security into my Thai bank account every month. I do 65,000 baht. And that always lasts me through the month. I've never spent more than 65,000 baht. But I live a pretty modest lifestyle. I don't go out to eat at fancy restaurants every night. I generally eat pretty conservatively. I eat a lot of street food. When I do eat the Western style food or the other, the not street food at restaurants, I normally don't spend a lot of money. Once in a while, I'll splurge and have a steak dinner that probably will cost me, a couple thousand baht or something like that. $60, $70. But that's rare that I do that. Usually if I eat out, it's, 400, 500 baht, so $15. So I don't spend a lot of money. If I go out with my buddies and have a few beers, I might buy a round. And, like the other night we went out and I think I spent like 2,000 baht because that was St. Patrick's Day. I bought a round of beers and I had a couple of Guinness. So it was like 2,000 for my bill at O'Shea's. And then it's like another couple thousand everywhere else. So that added up, but it was St. Patrick's Day. So it's my holiday. So, but generally speaking, I hardly, I don't spend that 65,000 unless I'm on a trip somewhere, then I'll spend more. I like also Michigan, my school. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. I think Michigan is so good. And Nebraska played them tough in Michigan during the regular season. And we were down two of our top players and we still played them good. How's your head after yesterday? I like Michigan. How's my head after yesterday? What happened yesterday? I didn't do anything yesterday. Day before, I went with friends. St. Patrick's Day, I went with some friends and we had a good time. So, but I don't really get hangovers, so I know when to stop. I got close to not knowing when to stop on St. Patrick's Day, but I was able to do that. Now, you know Travis, right, Kenneth? Because I saw your comment. You said, "Hey, what's up, Travis?" on my video. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, it was fun. That was a good time. My first St. Patrick's Day in Bangkok, so that was nice. I absolutely enjoyed it. So, So who do you guys got for Final Four? I told you my picks: Duke, Houston, Arizona, Michigan. So I basically went chalk except for Houston. Houston's a 2 seed. I just like Houston. It was tough to pick over Michigan State. Izzo, that's his name. That's the coach for Michigan State. He's awesome. I like him. Yes, I met him a couple of times with Gio. Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Travis. But Gio will be back in less than 2 weeks, as long as his flight doesn't get canceled. Are Thai people into that holiday? If they're with foreigners, they are. Like if if it's a girlfriend or friends, and they all hang out together, yeah, they'll go. I saw quite a few Thai people at the bars having a good time. So yeah. The cool thing about, well, I don't know about cool, but the different thing about going to the bars in Bangkok is most of the people that work there aren't necessarily Thai. They're mostly from Myanmar. Most of the bars I go to, the waitresses there are from Myanmar, so they speak English pretty good. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and they're cuter than hell. So those Myanmar girls are cute. Just finished my coffee, going to head out and eat some beef pho for lunch. Have a great rest of your day. You too. Enjoy that pho. And yeah, if you see, if you head to a Chevy, say hi to all the girls there at Chevy's for me. See if the ones that were there when I was there remember me. They may and they may not, but Adam, you have a good day. Enjoy your rest of the day there in Da Nang. All right, guys. We're just over an hour and a half. If you guys are cool with your chat, I'll probably call it a day. Like I said, I wanted to keep it kind of short before my meds wear off and I get grumpy. My shoulder starts acting up. But we'll call it a good one today. Have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the NCAA tournament. Enjoy the action wherever you're at. Live life, my friend. And we'll talk to you again soon. Sabay sabay. Take care.